Okay, while I was doing the last video, I wanted to talk about this video, but I held on until afterwards. This is immediately after the phone call. Um, when people are really, effed up, as we all are, um, there was this guy it was on a Facebook dating app, and then he was on one of these apps, and then apparently he was on my Instagram, which I didn't know until I started scrolling this morning, because I randomly pick people on Instagram, but there was no engagement between us. Um, when I, saw the Facebook dating app, or dating, yeah, I guess app, on the Facebook app, the dating portion. Um, I waved, but there was no conversation. Then I saw him briefly on one of the sex apps, and so we had a bit of a conversation, but I felt weird. It felt really like that this wasn't going to go anywhere. It was very defensive. I sensed it, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, this isn't flowing well. Um, and then I saw this morning he was on my Instagram. So I looked at his Instagram, and so I made the decision, I'm not attracted to him. I'm not attracted to him, and there was no conversation, chemistry. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, a little socially, I can't say the word, but you got what I said. And so, that's not going to work. So he messages me and says, like, I mean, some people might get a kick out of, someone actually, someone actually going through the trouble to message someone back when they're deleted off Instagram. Like, it affects them that much, you know what I mean? But the point being is that there was no engagement between us. There's nothing there. That's all it is. And if there's no engagement on my Instagram, I follow and unfollow people, I don't have friends on there, right? So, and I didn't even know I was following him, and he was following me. It was to that point. So he comes at me and he says, I have someone who needs a trainer. So I'm like, nice, at your gym? He's go, yeah. I wanted to send you the information on Instagram, but I just noticed that you deleted me. And I go, okay. Saying like, wow, that's the only time you engage with me. So you're watching everything closely. It's like, when, people, and then he says, there was nothing requiring answers, because it was kind of pretty evident that he was just testing things out. So he says, there was no real client, He says, not sure why, but okay. So, yeah. I don't know what to say. I mean, yeah, I would like to say, yeah, because you're a fat, ugly fuck, or a fat, ugly K-word fuck, from one K-word to another. But I held back. I'm like, I see your little game, and it's sad that that's the only time where you can kind of engage. We weren't friends. We weren't even having good discussions. So that it shattered your ego because I deleted you. So you felt you had to be a little vengeful, and try to hit me up like that. But what I wanted to say about this is that um, that's what happens from what I notice in some people in marriages. You don't know what the person is like until you get divorced. You know what I mean? And I think this is a good indicator. This is a good lesson for me too, and it's perfect. It kind of solidifies an answer if if someone takes something as simple as removing someone from a profile, an app, an Instagram, it says a lot, you know what I mean? Not knowing the reason. It could have opened up a conversation, but he didn't ask it. He didn't ask a question. And then I already realized there was the back and forth. If it's really tough to have a conversation online, it's even tougher in person, I tell you. Because most people are a little looser online. You know, they say a little bit more of what they feel. But if they can't online, imagine in person, that would be even worse, you know? So, it's good for me, and I've done this before. It's just, it's always hard, and I've always questioned myself on it, but I like to know what a person is like before I get deeper. And I don't think I have to give it more chance, which is what my psychologist said, to make sure I'm not looking at pushing someone away before something can be good, you know. But a normal person with good intentions wouldn't get pissed off at that and wouldn't try to be, passive aggressive about their ways of doing it, you know. So, for instance, I mentioned a few videos back about someone. I just went to their place and it was really impulsive and we didn't do anything. And then he kind of texted me back 2 days ago. He said his friend is leaving, he has nothing to do, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, we'll see each other Tuesday, which is today. Like, I didn't appreciate, me filling the void of you being bored with yourself, not being able to stay with yourself. That's on you, And Monday there was no communication, and today he's not really communicating. So it kind of died in the water. It kind of, you kind of get the clear picture of what's going on. You know what I mean? At least I do. So I like that, so not spend so much energy on people when it has to be kind of a give and take, Yeah, it helped me wake up, because the guy that I went to visit, I don't think we would have got along, I didn't get that much of a feeling, even though I was my eyes out of my socket. But then sometimes that kind of gets me in another lens of not seeing what the person is, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's like this. But then you kind of override it, and now it's like I'm not affected by it, by the guy. So that leaves the guy who messaged me back who wants to go see a movie today, The Grudge. And I said, I will get my day started, I will let you know. And so I guess that's my answer. I'm going to see the nice guy who's a flight attendant. Everyone's a flight attendant these days. To go see a movie. I'm going to go to the gym. I did this phone call. Yeah, I'll text him now.